Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be talking about a video that Jamie French actually uploaded on Facebook, which is, I don't think I've ever done a video about a video that's on Facebook. But if you're not familiar with Jamie French, or at least the connection that I have with Jamie French, connection is a strong word, but the first time that I talked about Jamie was actually when she made a video about Ozempic and her experience with that, and I thought it was a very interesting video, but I just thought it was funny. So today, the video that we're going to be talking about is Jamie French talking about Amberlynn Reid and how she feels that, you know, she is like one of the most hated people on the internet. And so that video is kind of, that's what the entire video is based on. And I wanted to talk about this previous video because there's a part that I feel is kind of important, or at least it is connected in some way. So this was from a few months ago, and so if I just play this part of the video right here.
Smallest dose possible. I keep thinking about Amberlynn Reid. She gets ripped apart on social media. I mean, 24 hours a day, somebody's making a video about her. I happened to catch some of her content.
I saw myself. Hello.
When she was on.
So I didn't really say anything much about that kind of comment or anything like that. Like, one thing that I know is very true about Amberlynn Reid is that if you're not someone that is very aware of her content, it's very normal for people to maybe go to a video of hers that is very innocuous, right? Where she's just doing normal stuff. And this is why I am not a huge fan of people that do nitpick every single little thing that just doesn't have any effect on most things, because people will see those nitpicks and they will think, wow, this woman is just on YouTube sharing her life, doing very innocuous things, and why are these comments so mean, right? And then they will start maybe following, and then they will go down that rabbit hole. The reason I say that is because this was me, right? And like when I first made videos talking about Amberlynn Reid, I remember I was a lot more I guess charitable, or I just didn't really understand what the problems that people had with her were. And so I was a lot more, I guess, charitable in things that I would say. And even to this day, I would say I try my best to be as charitable and only focus on the things that really matter, because I think it's very, very important. And I do think it shows when people nitpick little things, it takes away from the big things that have actually happened, right? And so I just wanted to share all of that just to give you a little bit of context. So we're actually going to finally go into this video, that the whole reason that we're doing this. So this video was titled "Can't Believe People Dislike Her So Much." Again, it was uploaded on Facebook, and so we're just going to kind of go over it. It's about a 9-minute video. Just going to go over it, and I'm going to share my thoughts.
Amberlynn Reid is quite possibly like the most bullied person I have ever seen in the history of social media. Entire YouTube channels exist just to like compile things she does, says, eats. People don't like how she spends her money. People don't like how she tries on clothes. People don't like how she pronounces words.
Mukbangs. Mukbangs. And mukbang. Mukbangs? What was I saying? Mukbangs. We ordered sushi.
The mukbang thing is always like, when I first made videos about it, I remember I said mukbangs and people said it's mukbang, and then it's one of those things that I don't think it really is that big of a deal. I don't think it really matters that much personally for me. I do, again, that is one thing that people will, that's definitely a common theme, right? In the Amberverse, I guess, is critiquing the way that she says words. Again, I do think that there are genuine things to criticize, but there are certain things that I just think, you know, some people, I think it's like the BEC, if you're on Reddit, which stands for bitch eating crackers, right? And so it's like this popular thing where it's like, no matter what this person does, it annoys you, right? And so I think for a lot of people, Amberlynn is their BEC, right? So even if she's just eating crackers, like that bothers them. And so I think a lot of the explanation is just people that feel that way about Amberlynn Reid, right?
I got some edamame, which I need to add some salt to, so I'm gonna use this Himalayan moment.
Oh yeah, that's something people don't like, is that she says moment a lot.
That's a little...
I think it's kind of funny that Amberlynn leans into it because she knows that people don't like it, and I don't know, that stuff kind of, I've always said that Amberlynn is clearly like a troll, and I think there is some level of like enjoyment that she gets out of feeding the trolls and also being a troll. I think she's even mentioned that before, right? Where she has like intentionally been trolling, trolling to the audience of people that watches her videos.
moment, a little leopard moment.
Weird thing to be upset about.
Just this like crab mixture.
Okay, sushi looks pretty normal, looks pretty harmless.
These are like tempura, crab, and tofu.
You lost me at tofu.
And what I'm about to eat right now, just a cup of noodle because I am hungry. Obviously, what else would somebody eat? We all know the answer to that. So this is $2.90 for this cup of noodle. I'm just adding a ton of pepper that I just got on my stove.
Does anybody just eat the cup of noodles as it is? I feel like everybody that I know doctors it up with all kinds of seasonings and sauces. I kind of just like it how it comes. I don't know.
That's definitely something that I ate a lot growing up. We did not have much money. But apparently a couple noodles came out and they said that they finally came out with a cup that is microwave safe. And that made me really question how I've been eating for a big portion of my life, because I threw those cups in the microwave 1000%. And so I don't know, we'll see what that brings. But I think one of the things that I've noticed the most in this like reaction or, you know, talking about this content is, so this video that she is like reacting to, I think she mentions it later, is Amberlynn's like biggest mukbangs, most iconic mukbangs or something like that. And so I can understand, again, if you're on the outside and you're just watching this and you're like, I think the consensus a lot of people might have, if they're not familiar with a lot of this stuff, is like, people are just mad because this is a fat person on the internet eating, right? And I think that there's certain people that might feel that way, but I think what's being lost here is the context of why people might feel the way that they do. And so I do think one of the legit criticisms of Amberlynn has always been that she started as a weight loss YouTuber and then hasn't done that, right? And that in and of itself is that doesn't make you a bad person. It is what it is. Losing weight is very difficult, but how that has manifested and the ways that she has maybe made claims that weren't true or had maybe no intention of going down that route, or the cycle that has become very obvious of like, I'm going to try this diet and then not sticking to it and then maybe blaming other people or other things instead of maybe taking accountability. I think that has made people a little annoyed. I definitely think that some people have gone too far in just how much it bothers them. I think that it's worth talking about and it's worth having a conversation about, but like letting it consume your life and it become like, you know, making a whole channel about one person, I just don't understand that. And I know you could be like, John, you talk about Amberlynn a lot. I do, okay? I do. And there's no arguing that. So it is what it is. Take that for what you want. And then the other thing that is not mentioned, that a lot of people, like the genuine criticisms that are very serious, are the domestic abuse, things like that have happened in the past. And there's so many different examples of that is not mentioned at all, which is why a good amount of people have issue or are just not a fan of Amberlynn, right? There's quite a few, I don't even know how to look at comments. Oh yeah. So there's quite a few comments that kind of talk about this. So one of the top ones has to do with how she treats her partners actually. And then this one right here, it says, "Oh man, I've always really enjoyed your videos. And at first I thought you were probably just unaware of why so many people dislike ALR. But after reading through the comments, it comes across like you knew about so much of her extremely problematic behavior, but chose to intentionally ignore it, leave it out." Now, I'm not going to make that claim. I really don't know. But again, a good amount of the comments are talking about like, that's why so many people have, negative feelings towards her. And that's why maybe it's more than just look how she eats or more than just those things, right? But that's why I think it is so important to focus on the serious stuff, or at least the stuff that, in my opinion, makes sense to criticize or at least bring up, like especially like being someone that clearly wants to lose weight and then talking about the things like, hey, doing this, like these mukbangs that are not the healthiest for you, is not going to lead to what you want, right? That's usually what I end up focusing on because I feel like that's important. All the other stuff, I feel like it detracts from the genuine message, and then it gives, I don't want to say ammunition, but it makes videos like this make a lot more sense to other people that are not related to this at all, that are not deep in, that haven't known about Amberlynn for years. They don't see it, and so they're just like, why are people so upset at this woman for eating cup of noodles? Or why are they so upset about her eating tofu or eating sushi or eating shrimp? Or, it's like people they see these random criticisms that feel so unnecessary, and then that gives them ammunition or like a reason to be like, oh, that's ridiculous. Why are people upset about this, right?
It looks so unappetizing, but I know it's next level good. A lot of people say that she cooks gross stuff and that she cooks slop. So far, this is all just takeout.
I got a mac and cheese, which is like 450 calories.
Counting calories. It's just so inconvenient. I do it all the time, so I relate, but hearing somebody else do it, I'm like, stop. Just use your judgment.
Currently, I just have it logged for 45 calories, but I have my empties for it. I had a cup of noodle, which is 290 calories. Ooh. Love that. And I had a whole bag of these.
See, and I guarantee if I scroll down to these comments, people are probably roasting her for eating a whole bag of lentil chips, but I know people that could put away 2 bags of that. First comment says,
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I'm probably one of those people.
I love sharing food, said the girl with the most food aggression I've ever witnessed in a human being. Oh yeah, there's like entire compilations of people saying that she has food aggression. I don't even really know what that is. When I think of food aggression, I think of my dog who would like, if another dog walked by his food bowl. I've never witnessed her acting like that, but people are mad.
So I'm gonna sound probably very ignorant to this, but I'm not even gonna look it up because whatever, okay? But when I think of food aggression, the thing that comes to my mind is something that I honestly struggle with. If I'm being honest, I definitely struggled with it more in the past. I used to be very like stingy. I remember one of my older sister's boyfriend called me stingy because I wouldn't give him a pepperoni off my pizza. But I personally, when I think about that, I think that that relates to or is connected to growing up and not always knowing how much food we're going to have or if we're going to eat, stuff like that, right? So growing up poor, basically. And I know Amberlynn has had a very rough childhood, so I would assume that maybe there's some parallels there, things that are related, because I can relate to that. Like, I definitely, like, when I get food, I want to eat all of it, and I want to make sure I finish it, and I could be completely wrong in like reading what food aggression is completely wrong, but that's kind of where my mind goes, at least when I hear it.
All of these comments are from people just like mocking her for saying she likes to share food. Gosh, every single comment is negative and mean.
I love sandwiches like this. And the olives, I feel like if you like olives, don't get mayonnaise. The olives kind of give that like kick you need.
That's an interesting tip.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So messy. Something I noticed about Subway though is that the onion, sometimes it's like super flavorful, and then other times you can tell it's been sitting out for a while, so it doesn't have as much flavor.
Yeah, so if you soak onions in water, which Subway soaks everything in water, I'm surprised they don't soak their bread in water. But soaking onions in water, I think, makes them a little bit more mild, so gross. And then you get a nice drizzle of onion water on your sandwich.
Hey guys, so it is time for another mukbang, and we're gonna be doing a spaghetti.
She says mukbang the way you guys don't like people to say mukbang.
Mukbang from last night.
I'm so jealous of the spaghetti right now.
We got all our Christmas shopping done, which I'm so happy about. There is no more worrying. Christmas shopping gives me anxiety.
Yeah, and people think I'm weird for not celebrating Christmas, and yet everybody who celebrates says the same thing, that it gives them horrible anxiety and is extremely costly.
I don't know, man. I'm a fan of Christmas. I like Christmas time. And I think like the way I see it is if you're able to have a conversation with your family and just set expectations of, you know, hey, I'm not gonna be able to buy people stuff, or, you know, I can buy like only a few things, so I'm gonna maybe pick people, or maybe every year you kind of cycle through who you choose, like, because I get it, trust me, I understand what it's like to not have much money and not be able to buy stuff for everybody, or not be able to buy anything like really extravagant. I think if you set those expectations, then it can be a lot less stressful. Again, I understand holidays can be stressful, but I'm not a Christmas hater. I'm definitely a fan. I like the holly jolly season for sure. I'm not like overly crazy about it. Like, I don't like set up my tree. Like, it's not like already set up right now or anything like that, but I'm definitely a fan. I'm not against Christmas.
So you're the weird ones.
What I've been trying to do if I go out to eat, ordering what I want but not eating the whole thing. Normally I would.
That's hard to do.
By doing this, it makes it to where I don't eat as much.
Especially with carbs, it's hard to do.
It's been working for me. If you're the type of person who is worrying about their weight, hold on.
God, okay. I've done this before where I've like tried to drink a gallon of water a day and I've had a whole jug. You just don't realize how ridiculous you look holding a huge gallon jug. But that's good. That's good. She's staying hydrated.
A lot of people tell me to see a nutritionist, and I actually saw one when I was 16, and I only went to 3 meetings. I remember this vividly. And one of the things that she did tell me, 2 little weird mindful tricks, was cut all your food in half and eat on a blue plate. I'm like, what?
Huh? What will they come up with next?
I guess supposedly the color blue makes you eat less. Who knows? But it's been working for me. I'm not gaining any weight. And
but that plate's not blue.
There's been a few
Exactly. So that's when I watched this video, I was like, that's it. That's what people like. That's what people would leave a comment. Like she goes on to talk about how like eating with a blue plate has been helping her. At least she insinuates that. That's what it seems like in the video, right? Like it's been working for me. Like they told me to eat on a blue plate and I've been doing it. And then, but literally she is eating on a plate that is not blue. I mean, there's blue parts of it, I guess, but like that's exactly what people will comment on, right? Like I think some of the nitpicking stuff is over the top, but some of it is just like, bro, you got to think before, like, if you're going to say you've been eating with a blue plate, then have a blue plate in the video, right? And so, like, it's just funny because Jamie seems to, it's like that's a comment someone would leave, right? Like, says that eating with a blue plate has helped her lose weight, is not eating with a blue plate. Like, that's a comment I could see on a video of hers, right? And so, like, that's, like, once you start watching more and more stuff, it's like you start to notice these little inaccuracies. Again, are they the end of the world? No, but like that's stuff people comment on YouTube videos, right? Like those little things.
Times where I posted on Snapchat where I'm just like, hey, I'm out to eat, or just like showing me out to eat, and people are freaking out.
If you eat, people will freak out. We all know this about the internet.
Hey guys, okay, so we're gonna do a mukbang.
So to be fair, I think that there's a grain of truth to that, but I think with Amberlynn, there is more to the story, right? And so with her, it's like there's been so many times where she would, say, I'm not going to go out to eat anymore. I'm trying to save money, or I'm trying to, lose weight, so I don't want to go out to eat, or I'm not going to do mukbangs anymore. I'm not going to do this. And then it's like so soon after it's happening already. And so it's like, I think when people watch the videos consistently, they see all of these things that's like, I'm going to start doing this. And then it just doesn't happen, that people start to, they start to notice that and they start to talk about it. Like, is it maybe the most productive thing in the world to like still watch the videos if it's clear that this person isn't sticking to what they said they're going to do? Probably not. But at the same time, like what people want to do with their time is what they want to do with their time. And if that's something that makes them laugh, then it is what it is. And I think that I genuinely think, like I've always said, I think Amberlynn is smart. I think that she understands that people latch onto that stuff. She understands that if she says a certain thing and then doesn't do it, like it's not going to be the end of the world for her, because people are going to talk about it. People are going to, like, I think she understands that. I don't think that she is like, I don't understand why people feel this way. I think she absolutely does get it. And like, am I saying that she leans into it fully? Not entirely, but I do think there's times where she maybe leans into it a little bit because she just knows how her audience is, right? And so, yeah.
I'm gonna be eating this board game. I'm just kidding.
That was actually pretty funny.
Burger King. So, in this video, I'm going to be eating.
We prefer to call Burger King Sheboygan King.
Sheboygan. Very big in Sheboygan.
That's the only way that you're allowed to say the word burger is Sheboygan. You're welcome.
I got diet soda.
Love diet soda. I could never go back to regular after getting it as a teenager.
Oh, so good.
So good.
We have our cheesy tots.
Dude, Facebook's pretty crazy, man. Like, you can't even say addicted. They're even crazier than YouTube is. Oof.
It comes with 8 of them.
Those don't look like tots.
Comes with 8 little buggers right there.
They look like hush puppies.
And then we have a spicy sandwich. So I can't do it. I can't do raw tomato.
Same. Hate it.
Oh my gosh. So excited. I'm like ready. I'm hungry.
It's making me hungry, jeez. Whoever like made this compilation and referred to this as Amberlynn Reid's most iconic mukbangs, I don't agree. What is iconic about this? She's just like eating as a normal person would eat. This is like something that my sister probably eats on a daily basis.
And now let's read comments.
I agree with that, right? And so I agree to an extent. Like, again, if you're looking at it just like from the outside, you're not going to find there's not going to be any like, all of the things that you see, all of the mukbangs that you see, there's not gonna be any significance to it, right? But if you are in that world, which these videos are really for people that are in that world, right? They know the context behind it, maybe what was said before it, and just how like maybe ridiculous it is that she's eating that on camera in that moment because if the last video said she wouldn't be, right? Whatever it might be. Like, that's why that stuff's iconic. Like, is it a little ridiculous? Absolutely, without a doubt. And I think even the people that watch the video would say like, yeah, it's silly, but that's the point. But again, it's just, I think it's just different. Like, the people that are in that world, they understand why it would be like quote unquote iconic. And I feel like using that term is like a little bit of, like irony as well.
My newest video, which I know is going to be harsh.
Don't do it. Don't do it, girl.
I have grown to have some tough skin, let me tell you.
Even tough skin sometimes is penetrable, and the comments she gets are, they're so hurtful. They hurt me. They give me secondhand hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I personally would not go down that route. I'm not a fan of reading comments, especially if you know it's gonna be a video where people are gonna be mean. You can call me like thin-skinned or whatever, but you got to protect yourself.
The last video I uploaded was the spaghetti mukbang.
Oh, we just watched that.
That just went up today, a few hours ago. So first comment I see is from Madison Mukbang, and she says, "Stop it, get some help."
Wait, as in the "Stop It, Get Some Help" meme from Michael Jordan that I use?
Stop it. Get some help.
I think this girl meant it in a mean way. It's just funny that I use that meme all the time. Someone quoted her saying, "If you get olives, don't get mayonnaise because olives give you the kick you need." What the F does that even mean? Who cares? Why is that? Why are you so angry? Gosh. You know what ticks me off? I feel like if Logan Paul said that in a video, people would be like, "Yes, Logan, we stan. We hate mayonnaise." People will
I don't know, man. I would make fun of that if Logan Paul said that in a video.
find anything to get mad at her. Her lack of chewing is what gets me. She chewed. The way she ate that cheesy tot and went cross-eyed in excitement, that is the true definition of disturbing.
Yeah, stuff like that I just don't think is necessary. Yeah, I don't get getting so fixated on little things like that, for me personally.
And isn't that funny, the Virgo 3866, that you don't have a profile picture? You guys are mean. You know what I see? I see someone who has an underlying condition. It could be physical, but I think it is emotional/mental. Even though somebody puts themselves on the internet, to me, it doesn't mean that they're asking to just be relentlessly bullied. And just keep in mind that everybody is the way they are because of one reason or another. I know that she has had a very, very rough childhood and a very traumatic past, and oftentimes that can lead to people struggling with obesity. And ultimately, comments like this and constant people making all this content about her is not helping her. I say the same thing to the people who harass me about my weight. You aren't making me skinny. You know what I mean? Be productive.
So that's the entire video. And I think, like, to kind of talk about the points that were made at the end, I think that there's a lot of good points made that she said, things that I agree with, but I do think that it is important to understand that I think a good portion of the audience and the people that have watched the videos that are critical of her, it's more than just because of her weight. I really, really believe that. Like, all of the other scandals and things that have gone on, and if you don't know, I've made videos about them, and there literally are plenty of videos talking about the scandals that have nothing to do with how she eats or the weight that she is, or even the fact that she started as a weight loss channel and has gained a lot of weight from that. Like, things that have nothing to do with weight at all, which I do feel are fair criticisms and is a reason why people maybe are not happy with Amberlynn and just the things that have happened in the past. Does that mean that she deserves to be, to have these like little things nitpicked? Not really. But again, it is like, when you're on the internet and if you are filming that stuff, that you are leaving yourself open to that. And so for me, the way I see it is like, if you don't want how you're eating to be nitpicked or the types of food that you're eating to be nitpicked, don't put it online. Like that might not be the best solution, but that's just like, if it really bothers you, right? If like people nitpicking the food that you're eating, don't share it. Then you won't have to deal with anyone nitpicking the food that you're eating. But yeah, I just wanted to share that video. I thought that it was interesting. I think there were good points. Obviously, there's some stuff that I disagree with. But yeah, I'm genuinely curious. What do y'all think down in the comment section down below? Let me know. And yeah, I appreciate it. Peace.